Solving quadratic equations by completing the square. These are some examples of perfect square trinomials. X squared minus 8x plus 16 and x squared plus 6x plus 9. They are said to be perfect square trinomials because they are the same with these numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. These numbers are perfect square because they have a root, an integral root. So square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, square root of 25 is 5. They have factors of the same number. The factors of 25 are 5 times 5, 4 times 4, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 1 times 1. The same with this, x squared minus 8x plus 16. Its factor is the same binomial. So x minus 4 times x minus 4. Or this can be combined or rewrite into quantity x minus 4 squared. So how did we get the factor of this given? So since it is a perfect square trinomials, just simply go to the first term, factor the x squared, and that is x times x. Then factor the last term, 16, and that is 4 times 4. Since the middle term is minus, our operations are also minus. That's how easy. So in x squared plus 6x plus 9, so the factors are quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 3. How did we get it? So it's the same. Factor the x squared, and that is x times x. Factor the 9, and that is 3 times 3. Since the middle term is positive or addition, the operations are also addition. Or we can rewrite this into exponential form, so quantity x plus 3 squared. So that's how we factor a perfect square trinomials, and that is your lesson in grade 8 and grade 7. Now, how are we going to make a polynomial a perfect square trinomial? So remember that this is the standard form of a quadratic equation represented by ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, wherein a is the numerical beside x squared, b is the numerical beside x, and the constant number. Okay, so in this given x squared minus 8x plus, what should be our c? What should be the third term to make it a perfect square trinomial? So this formula will help us. To find that c, just get the b and get its half, then multiplied by itself. So in this case, where is our b? b is located beside x. So our b here is negative 8. So we're going to use the formula. So our b is negative 8. We will just substitute. Then half of negative 8 is negative 4. Then multiply it by itself. And our c here is 16. Therefore, the third term must be 16 to make it a perfect square trinomial. Okay, let's try this. Another example, x squared plus 6x plus what number? So we'll use the formula to find the c. So we need to get the, to use b to find the c. So our b here is 6, substitute. So 1/2 of 6 is 3. Then multiply it by itself, and our c here is 9. So therefore, the third term must be 9 to make it a perfect square trinomials. And we can get the factors very easy, like what we did in our exercise a while ago. Now, how are we going to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square? Again, this one plays a very important role in doing this. Okay, so our given is x squared minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. How are we going to find the values of x? By using completing the square. So notice that we have here a c, so we need to take it out. So to remove that, we will subtract both sides by negative 12, and the equation looks like this. We're going to cancel them. This will be left to us. X squared minus 8x, then on the other side, 0 minus 12 is negative 12. Oh, then what should be the third term to make it a perfect square trinomial? So again, just get the b, and our b here is negative 8, so let's try to do it mentally. So imagine that this is negative 8. Half of negative 8 is negative 4. And negative 4 times negative 4, it is positive 16. That's why we will add positive 16 to both sides. Now, it is now a perfect square. So just write it down. Then negative 12 plus 16 is positive 4. Okay, so what are we going to do with this perfect square trinomial? We can factor this easily like this. Okay, we just write down equals in 4. then we can rewrite this into exponential form. Quantity x minus 4 squared equals 4. Then we want to find the value of x, and we want to take out this squared. To eliminate them, we will square both sides. Okay? So every time that we square this side, there must be a plus and minus, because the square root of 4 is not only 2. It is positive 2 or negative 2. Okay? So there must be a plus and minus. Okay, so if we're going to simplify this, so we're going to simplify the radical sign and the exponent. So what will be left here is x minus 4. Then on the other side, square root of 4 is 2. Don't forget the plus and minus. Okay, so next we want x to be left alone. So we need to eliminate this minus 4. So we will add both sides by 4. Then cancels, and x will be left alone here. And positive 4 plus or minus 2. So we want to write 4 first, followed by these two operations, plus or minus 2. This tells us that x has two possible values, 4 plus 2 or 4 minus 2. So we're going to separate them. So x can be 4 plus 2, or it can be 4 minus 2. So because since it is a quadratic, we have two possible values of x. So we'll solve first the left side equation. 4 plus 2 is 6. And on the other side, 4 minus 2 is 2. So the two possible values of x are 6 or 2. So that is how we solve a quadratic equation by using completing the square. So let's try one more example. X squared plus 6x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so we're going to take out this c. We want to make it empty. So we will add 1 to both sides so that it becomes x squared plus 6x is equal to 1, because this will be taken out, and 0 plus 1 here, it's 1. Then, okay, so what third term are we going to put here to make it a perfect square? So remember this formula. So we will take our b. In this case, this is the positive 6. So we're going to solve it mentally. So 6 here, the 1/2 of 6 is 3. Then 3 times 3, it gives us 9. Therefore, we will add 9 to both sides. We must do it in both sides because we want to maintain this equality symbol. Now, next, simplify them. We just write it down, and 1 plus 9 equals 10. Then, next is factor this. Since it is a perfect square, it's so easy to factor this. The factor of x squared is x times x. The factor of 9 is 3 times 3. That's how easy. Write down equals and 9. Then, we write this into exponential form. Next, we want to eliminate this squared, so we will square both sides. And if we are going to square on this side, there must be a plus and minus every time we do it. Now, we're going to simplify squared and radical sign, and this leaves us x plus 3 here. Then square root of 10, since 10 is not a perfect square, so it will remain here under the radical sign. Okay, so we want x to be left alone, so we're going to eliminate this positive 3. We will subtract 3 to both sides. And we can now cancel them. And finally, x is left on the other side. And on the other side, we have here negative 3 plus minus square root of 10. We cannot add or subtract them. Why? Because this is a rational number and the other one is an irrational number. So we cannot combine them. But we can still separate them. X is equal to negative 3 plus square root of 10 because of this plus. And the other value of x is negative 3 minus square root of 10. And since we cannot simplify them anymore, that is our answer. So negative 3 plus square root of 10 or negative 3 minus square root of 10.